One and all present here. I, Dr. Tanushree, welcome you all to the session on Value Proposition Fit and Business Fit organized by IIC of IMT College of Law. IMT College of Law has always striven to inculcate a spirit of innovation and enterprise among its students, and today's activities is one of our such efforts. We are glad to have Sushil Shukla sir as our guest speaker for today, who is currently working as assistant professor at IMT College of Management. He has a very rich and diverse experience of industry as well as academia. After serving for 10 years in Indian Air Force, he has worked in reputed organizations like Reliance Infocom, Tata Teleservices, Reliance Telecom, Ericsson Global for 2 decades in leadership roles in network engineering function. He is Global Certified Competency Assessor through Ericsson. He is PMP certified from Project Management Institute USA. He has been industry panelist for Symbiosis Pune, Noida and Bengaluru for the first selection process of management students. Heartiest welcome to you, sir, and now invite you to the dais as we all are eager to hear you.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. So, good afternoon to all present here, all the respected faculty members and Mr. sir. You all are. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to deliver a session that is taken from IIC, cell of IMT College of Law. So I am really privileged and honored to be here to deliver this session, which is having a very, very relevant subject, which is how to achieve value proposition fit and business fit. You all know any business, what is the root of doing any business as an entrepreneur or any traditional business which had been decades and centuries. So, this is our observation that any problem we face in different areas and sectors, that is the starting point for the genesis of any business or any entrepreneurship process. Because all the successful entrepreneurs, they are basically going to do what? They are going to solve some or the other problem in different sectors. So it means problems are the real raw material or ingredients of any startup or any entrepreneurship or any business. So that main thing is how to identify list of problems, because for any entrepreneur to be successful, first of all we need to know which area and sector the people are facing what kind of problems. So after listing out so many problems, you have to prioritize which problem is impacting the mass or the majority of people. So after doing the real impact analysis, we need to know which problem I am going to solve as an entrepreneur. So once we have decided that this is the area in which specifically I am going to solve this problem, so automatically our planning process starts. And for any planning process, as an entrepreneur, we need to have, all the inputs which are required for a proper planning, a complete planning. After planning, we analyze the risk management. Risk management is very, very essential because it can adversely impact the positive outcome of any project as an entrepreneur. Whatever you have planned, you are going to execute, and once the execution is effective or efficient enough, definitely your outcome will be aligned with your goals, which are set during the planning process. So, risk analysis is having a lot of inputs based on the previous experiences and best practices which are already there in particular area or field. So we need to understand the impact and probability of certain occurrence which are unforeseen, which may or may not occur, but it may impact the outcome of the project or plan adversely. So after assessing the risk, we need to understand what will be our mitigation plan. And the mitigation plan is aimed at minimizing the impact or adverse impact. Because we cannot eradicate risk in any project or any startup or something. Risk will be there. The only thing is once we are well educated about this, we can minimize the impact or adverse impact of that risk towards the project outcome. So after considering this, we will start executing the project plan. And once the project plan is executed, during that we need to understand what will be the different resources, who will be our suppliers, who will be our vendors, what kind of resources, like it may be human resource, it may be material resource, it may be technology, machine, tools, techniques, everything towards that. So organizing optimized tools and techniques and resources towards cost effectiveness is also a key factor so that we can ensure efficiency and effectiveness in our entire process. Once it is implemented, so during implementation itself, we need to monitor and control the entire process because anything which cannot be measured cannot be controlled or managed. That's why monitoring, controlling is a continuous process throughout the entire implementation stage. So at this stage, we monitor, and control, and we achieve certain milestones. So once we do this, we report the project progress to the concerned management team so that everybody is synced up what's going on, what's going good, what are the challenges, and in case some challenges are there, what are the support required, who will support, how much support is required, so that everything is aligned and synchronized and trained. Because there will be hurdles, there will be challenges, this is for sure. But the only thing is our leadership and management responsibility is how to handle these challenges and all these hurdles. And that is going to ensure success towards our set goals and outcomes. So with this kind of approach, we see whether we are developing a product or service as a solution to the end customer. Solution and product toward the end customer as a superior solution, we need to understand the entire market. Because till we understand the market and a specific target audience or target customers, it is very difficult to understand customer needs. Because once we have planned that we are going to address some solution or address some problem to the solution, definitely what we need is, we need to have a very systematic, structured and organized way so that we are going to deliver the kind of solution to the end customer, which is really going to ease out their pain points. So with this kind of scenario, we need to understand very clearly that it is a step-by-step process for developing any product and services to cater the need of end user and end customer. Because ultimately, in the market there are so many buyers and sellers of product and services. The point here is what is one thing that is going to distinguish? What is one thing that is USP and uniqueness of your product and services? So those things are very, very important while proposing value. Because value proposition is very, very essential, and that is to be taken care in the entire value chain analysis. That what value my product and service uniquely are going to add toward the solution to ease out the pain points of end user and customer. Why it is so important? Because those who are entrepreneurs and those who want to be a successful entrepreneur especially, so they need to understand that their success of any business as an entrepreneur is totally dependent on how they are establishing, how they are creating impact, how they are unique, what is their USP, and how differently they are going to solve the problem as a superior solution in the market. Because till they are competitive, why we should go for buying their product and services? So that uniqueness, that special impact, and the cost-effective solution is going to, establish your business, and not only establish your business, because business is also having a life cycle. Once you establish a business with a very unique value proposition after the value chain analysis, what you need to do is you have to ensure that it is taking care of the competition in the market. Because if you are not able to take care of the competition in the market, you cannot sustain, you cannot grow and sustain in the business. Because those who are having long-term vision, they need to not only establish any business and after some time they are taking U-turn and winding up. Because no business is planned for failure. Every business is planned for success. So success can be ensured only these two words, which is value proposition fit and business fit. They are two sides of the same coin. Why they are two sides of the same coin? Because till you understand the end customer need so deeply, till you address the need and pain points of customer with your unique design process, with your unique adapting to latest technology and tools and techniques, with your open mind, with your global approach and a very broad approach, you can ensure that your proposition of value towards the customer is unique and special in the market, so that the end user and customer will definitely go for your product. So this is not just one-way process. For taking care of this value proposition towards any product and services, we need to continuously evolve. We need to continuously improve our things, whether it is product and services. And how we are going to improve? Because suppose last 1 month we have a very good feedback towards our product and services. It doesn't guarantee that coming 3 years, coming 1 year, coming 3 months, 6 months, again the same thing will continue. Because end customer preferences, likes and needs vary. Because everything is dynamic in today's world. Whether it is technology, it is advancing and dynamic. Whether it is people's choice and preference, it is also changing. So it means continuously we have to evolve. That's why we have to innovate and be creative. That's why there is a lot of focus on innovation and creativity as an entrepreneur. And a successful entrepreneur has to be innovative and creative. And successful entrepreneur has to customize the solution based on feedback from the end user. And that is the reason there is a lot of focus on after sales services. And after sales services means customer relationship management. Because till we manage the customer after sales service, whether it is product or services, we cannot ensure repeat business. Until repeat business cannot be ensured, we cannot grow and sustain in the business. We cannot be competitive enough. So that is the reason there are two sides of the same coin, that is value proposition fitting is a continuous evolving and improving process. And by using our research and development of the market, of tools and techniques and technology, we are going to ensure that as per the dynamic preferences and needs of the customer, continuously we have to improve our products and services, and that is going to ensure that their business sales is happening, their targets are getting achieved, and continuously they can grow and sustain. Not only that, sustainability nowadays is a much talked subject across the globe. Why? Because sustainability is also related with compliance. Sustainability is also related with the environmental aspect, because if those companies whose product and services are not eco-friendly, not taking care of compliance and all, they also cannot sustain in the business. Because they cannot sustain by taking care of these very, very essential elements, there is no point that we can grow. And that is the reason there is very, very serious challenges towards the fitment in the business. That's why we talk about business fit. So, whatever product and services we are evolving as an entrepreneur in different sectors to solve a specific problem of a specific area and sector of the people, we need to see how broadly they are impacting the masses so that the volume of business also will be accordingly. That's why we have to initially, like whatever problem we have listed out, we have to identify which is the best problem, a serious problem, a critical problem. By solving that, we are going to address the pain points of majority of the people of the society. Because nowadays, those entrepreneurs who are really, doing a lot of market research, that who are our competitors, what they are doing, how we can add value in a very different way. That is the real aspect to be taken care, so that we are really ensuring that whatever we are proposing in the market, and continuously we are improving our product and services, definitely we are going to create a difference in terms of our value proposition. Because ultimately by value proposition fit means how it is fitting into the requirement and need of the customer. And not only fitting into the need and the requirement of the customer, it is going to fit into the business goals. Because ultimately, if we are fitting the requirement and need of the business, then only our purpose and goals of business are achieved. So, we need to create a balance between our business goals as well as customer needs, because they have to go hand in hand. It is not only just our business goals are achieved without really addressing the customer requirement and need based on a lot of feedback system through surveys, through other review system, because continuously those who are with open mind, ready to accept the changes, then only they can evolve and sustain in the business. Because it is only change which is permanent. And those who are adopting and embracing changes, nobody can stop them in growing and sustaining in the business, be it anything. Only thing is the business ethics, the business compliance, the business proposition, and always ready to adopt innovative changes, which are positively going to impact the whole society. Because if you ignore society, nobody can do the business for a long run. So, it means the long-term aspects are to be taken care, because if the aspects are not long-term, these two things cannot be fitting into the framework. Because it is not gone are the days once we are just doing business, ignoring society, ignoring what value this business or product and service are going to add. Because till it is creating a balance, till it is synchronized with the customer need, our product and services will not be sustaining in the business. That's what is the main focus. So now the question is how to achieve this goal of fitting the value proposition as well as business fitment. Because we have seen or we have heard value for money. It means whatever money we are investing in any kind of business as an entrepreneur, we need to understand the value. Because ultimately at the end of the day, we need to understand that my any action in terms of product and services or customer services or even after sales services, is it going to add value? Is it going to solve any problem of the society? If answer is yes, then nobody can stop in sustaining the business. Now, for example, if you talk about electronic goods like mobile handset or laptop, so you might have seen the mobile handset or laptop 10 years back, 20 years back, and now. Do you see any difference in terms of their features, in terms of their weight and lot of technical aspects? So continuous evolution happened. So it has evolved and developed. That's why you see the products are evolving continuously. And that is possible through a lot of research and development work and a lot of feedback system from the market. So that input from the market as a research and development and market research feedback, we continuously improve the situation. Because if we continuously improve and evolve, this fitment will not happen. Somewhere some problem will be there. And that is the reason we are going to create a difference by synchronizing and balancing between business needs and goals and addressing the customer needs and pain points. So with this, I think just to summarize the entire session, what we need to know that for achieving this value proposition fit and business fit, our requirement is to have a plan, a solid plan, by taking all the inputs in place. And not only having a solid plan, we need to have a right skill set and resources on board so that they are really implementing and working in a very efficient and effective way. Until all these things are aligned, all the resources, the technology, and technology means adopting latest technology. Because till you adopt the latest technology, you cannot be innovative, you cannot be competitive in the market. So for staying competitive in the market or staying relevant in the market, we need to always approach with an open mindset. And with that open mindset and continuously adopting the changes, definitely we can ensure that the value proposition fit and business fit, both goals are achieved. So with this, I am closing my session. And before that, if any question is there from the audience, you are welcome. So if no questions, thank you so much for listening with patience and your time. And I hope with this discussion, it will have enlightened your thought process, what should be our approach to achieve the goal. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time, and it was a very wonderful lecture. I now request T.L. Prasad, sir, to please deliver a vote of thanks.
Respected Shukla sir, asking vote of thanks is not that what you have parted with us for that purpose, but the thanks will be always to call you time and again and enlighten us with your wisdom, your knowledge, and especially the today's topic I find value proposition and business fit. This is highly attached with value addition in any course, and we are imparting with the law, and with law what value we can add on. That is the prime area for us. So sir, whatever you have stated, it's really knowledgeable, and on behalf of IMT College of Law, I express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks, with a hope that in future we'll have you again with us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.